Hello guys, welcome to my quick guide for Enoki. Let's jump right into it. Now, Enoki operates with a unique resource which is the hit, and she gets this by performing up to the fourth stage of her melee attack, secondary attack, and a counter attack. Now, keep in mind that when she gets her attack, she's going to lose this hit stack, and the more stacks you have, the faster this stack is going to deplete over time. Now, for the primary attack, you can perform a perfect evasion, follow up with a primary attack. This is going to automatically gets her to the fourth stage of the melee attack, and then she gets this hit. So you don't have to go all the way from the first stage to the fourth stage. You could just perform a perfect evasion, follow up with a basic attack, and you get this stack. The secondary attack is going to perform an AoE attack towards the enemies, and at the end she's going to do a final slash. Now you want to get to this last phase. This is going to give you the hit you need. And the counter attack, she's going to perform a counter attack, and she's going to get hit. Keep in mind you are not able to counter against non-physical attacks. Now for the strategy skill, this can be executed when you are 32 or above stacks of hit, and you're going to deal damage towards the target, and you're going to consume some hit stacks. Keep in mind you can position this attack to effectively hit multiple targets, and for our ultimate attack this is going to deal good damage, and she needs a tension phase of 2. Keep in mind guys, when you're playing Enoki, you're not able to repeat the same set moves that give you hit 2 times in a row. So what does that mean? That means that when you are using your primary attack to gain your hit, you cannot use your primary attack again for hit. You're going to get it, but this is going to be smaller portion of what you would have gotten. So you want to always rotate between primary into secondary into counter. So that should be your rotation and your skill gameplay for Enoki. Let's jump over to her potential and what you need for her. Now, ideally, you can build her in 2 ways. You can opt towards building her all-rounder. So you are utilizing her hit stacks, utilizing her strategy skill, and also her ultimate. Or you could go the full ultimate build, which is very easy to use and also very easy to build. So how do you go for the first build? So you want to opt into fighting instincts and also a second passive, as this is going to inflict self damage on her in exchange for damage bonus. Now this damage bonus is going to boost your strategy skill, your basic attack, and all your kits. And the second way you can build her is an ultimate build. Now for this you want to go all in into the first skill expansion. This is going to boost ultimate skill damage bonus, but keep in mind this is also going to decrease the amount of hit you get from your attack. For Partimons, you could go 2 ways. For substats, what are you looking for? Ideally crit rate, crit damage, attack pieces are what you are looking for, and you could also opt in for ultimate skill efficiency too. So what build are you using then for the ultimate damage bonus? Of course you want to go for the sect effect, you want to go for ultimate skill damage multiplier, and also for the substats you also want to go for like the crit rate, the crit damage, ultimate skill efficiency. For this build is also recommended, so you can cast your ultimate multiple times. So let's take a look at her transcend very quick. The first one gives her stacks when she executes her chain skill. The second one gives her potential gems. The third one is going to increase her damage multiplier when the hit stacks reaches the maximum, and after you use your strategy skill, this effect is going to be removed. The fourth one gives her potential gems, and the fifth one is going to increase the damage bonus of her potential by up to 90%. Now this will be for this one. So at a maximum, this gives you 180%, and this is going to get an additional of 90% added to it. So let's take a look at teams real quick, and what characters you want to play with her. So ideally with Enoki, for the breaker slot, you could go for Kazuki, you could go for Senju, you could go for Yo, and you could go for also Roku. Roku is ideal if you are starting out, as it's going to enable you to have a taunt in your party to be able to take away all the aggro from Enoki, and you could use this chance to then learn attack patterns, and further learn how our kit works. And then you can then opt towards characters like Kazuki, Yo, and Senju after you're comfortable with using Enoki. And for the last slot, of course, you can put in a second DPS, you can put in a healer, you can put in a debuffer. So the choice is up to you what you want to use for the last slot. So let's take a look at attention cards real quick and what you need. For the first build I mentioned, for the all-rounder build, you could of course opt towards things that give you crit rates and damage bonus, and that would be cards like Full Party, that would be cards like Things to Hold On To if you have this, that would be cards like Grinder. You could also use Rise and Fall of Glory. That would be things like Strike Zone, cross counter attacks. You could also use Maximization, and you also use Fighting Scene. And so these are all cards that you can use that are very viable. And if you are going for like the ultimate damage bonus, then you would want to go for things like if you ultimate scale damage bonus, that would be the pulsating life, stimulation. You could also use bombard, you could use all out. So you also want to just test this card and see what team you are using and how much tension card and how fast you are able to break the enemies to be able to generate the tensions you need for activating this. Yeah. Also, guys, I want you to quickly keep in mind that for Enoki, you do not need to come into contact with any of your attacks on a primary target. So you could also use this chance to be, so when there's an enemy phase going on, you could use this chance to be performing a basic attack, getting to the fourth stage, using a secondary attack, just so you can build up enough stack to be able to use on the enemy when they are ready. So you do not need to hit an enemy with any of your skill to be able to get your stack. So you can use that, as you will. And so yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. And I want you to know that Enoki being a difficult character shouldn't discourage you from learning her. She's very, very fun to play when you get the hang of how her kit works and how everything flows. Now, if this guide was helpful, I want you to drop a like, drop a subscribe, and for more Tribe 9 content, and also share this video to any of your friends or to anyone who is looking for an Enoki guide. So, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.